we're back here. This is Charlene Ruiz.
And I'm Lorraine Lindsay.
And we're two chicks in a pod, here to share some insight on what we're doing, why we're here, get some feedback from Facebook posts and comments about what you want to hear, and just kind of just lead you into what's coming up.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So you had a post that you wanted to mention about someone commented on our video, our pre-cap video. And I believe the topic was on relationships and career and juggling.
And just
correct?
juggling,
Okay.
right. So it was interesting, the topic, and I think a lot of people, particularly women, with the world and the way that it is today, with just anyone, not just women, there's a lot of options out there, but then sometimes it's like when you go to a restaurant and you eat and and there's all these options and you have no idea, like, well, what do I pick? I'm so hungry, but I don't know what to pick. It's kind of like life is like that with all the exposure and the social media and the expectation. It can be a little overwhelming and daunting. So how do I juggle all of that? How do I date my spouse or have a relationship with my spouse or my partner? Or how do I have children and get them going and yet maintain a look about me and keep myself healthy? How do I do it all?
Right.
So where do we begin with this?
Well, that takes time, first of all, and awareness first, because as mothers, I know myself, and as a wife, you want your family to do well, and that's what makes me thrive. I know in myself that I'm okay, but if my family's not okay, I have to do something about it. I'm a problem solver. So for a long time, my daughter's 18 now. She's a college student, and I'm an empty nester. For a long time, my life was based upon that, and I grew according to the way that my family did. However, my true success in myself came when I took a step back and I saw that if I'm not okay, if I'm not strong, if I'm not doing me, then I can't give back to my family in the way that they deserve of me. So that's the family aspect as a married woman and a mother. But again, I'm not single, so I don't really have that to speak into. I don't date, I don't do any of those things. I date my clients because that's what I like to do. That's the relationships that I build, my friends, etc. But a companion, I don't really know much about how that works.
Well, with just as an example, companion, you can date your spouse or if you're looking to date. I think the key thing is quality over quantity. And I think we have 24 hours in a day and we try to jam it all in. And I think the first thing is saying, really take a clear look and be self-aware. Say, what is important to me? What matters? Time with my kids, time with the person in my life, time with my friends, time for myself. And it's not a matter of how much time, it's the quality of time. When my son was younger and I was single mom, I worked 2 jobs, I was going to college, a lot of stuff, and I always felt like I was depriving my son of time with me. And I had to realize, no, it's what I do with the time that I have that will be more significant than the time itself. So it's a matter of balance and boundaries and saying, I can't do it all, and I just need to figure out what's important today and give it, be fully engaged and be present with what it is. So if you're spending time with your kids and maybe you want to work out, maybe you'll take your kids out and hula hoop with them or jump rope. So now you're present with your children and you maximize it, but you give them the quality that it needs.
Yeah, a little example for myself, I was opposed to taking my daughter to the gym when she was a baby. I just wouldn't do it. So I started to work out at home, got myself some videos and did the workouts there until she was of age, which for me was almost 5. For some reason, I just had a problem with that. Then she went along with me and she loved that time at that playroom because she got to interact with other kids. Mom got to do her thing and everybody was happy. So again, when you have a will, you'll find a way. And your kids, they're fine. They're happy. You have to have grace on yourself and know that it's okay to put you as a priority, as long as you know that your intentions are in the right place, and that means you're doing it for the better good of you and those that are in your life.
Yeah, definitely it's a matter of balance, and we talked about this before, and it's very difficult to balance it all, but it's possible. I think we just put way too much expectation on what we think we should be. It's just be.
And if you're asking for tips, here's some clear-cut tips. Get up early when everybody's sleeping, get your workout in. Or right after work, go get your workout in. Or bring some clothes and get your workout in lunchtime. If it's a workout that you're trying to squeeze in, you'll find the time. Get up early. It comes with a sacrifice. But once you get that momentum, it's going to be part of your life every day. Knowing what feeds your body, the fuel that's good for your body to give you a feeling of energy, that can give back to your family, that's the other part of that there. So there's tips once you know what your priorities are. And I absolutely believe that, especially those that are in business, a business plan without a fitness plan is an incomplete plan. So you need to find a way to make that a part of who you are and where you're going in those goals.
It makes, and that's a great point, because I tell you, when your mind is clear, when your body feels strong and you feel healthy, it kind of gives you the sky's the limit type of feel. You just feel really, really good about yourself. And again, it's not a matter of an overnight thing. It's you have to be able to give yourself permission for the time that it takes, and just be consistent. You know, and then if you fall down, get back up.
Absolutely. And I'm one that doesn't believe that of impossible. I don't know what that means, and I can't. I try to figure out what that, and I don't even want to try anymore because it doesn't exist in my mind. So as long as you keep your tenacity up and you find whatever it is that really drives you, that's where success is. And it looks different for everybody. Some people base their successes on what they have in their bank account. Some people, their success is on how their children are raised and live life today, and or their relationships. And some people don't have relationships and or children or a spouse, and they need to find some type of community to really fill their spirit in giving back, because that's essentially what I believe why we're here. You know, we have a purpose to give in some capacity, whatever that is for you, to other people.
Yeah, sounds great. So let's leave it at that, because we have so much more to talk about as far as what we've got coming up.
Right.
And the Two Chicks in a Pod.
Two Chicks in a Pod. Lorraine and I have known each other for some time now, and about a year or two ago we put on a workshop. It was called Ignite the Fire, Clear the Clutter, and we did about 2 of them, and we built on that, and we both coincidentally have kids the same age. They both graduated high school the same year and went off to college the same year. So we were kind of going through the same flow of changes in life, and that put a little bit of a hold on our transition into this project. Here we are, we've accustomed, our kids are gone, and they're adults and they're doing their thing, and we're here in this place where we feel ready. We feel ready to bring back what we started. And so with that, podcasting is a big deal. For those of you out there that listen to podcasts, that's all that I do. I need to cut it sometimes because I need music too. We decided, you know what, let's give our voice a name, let's give our voice a platform, and let's give our voice out to others. And I am my own individual style of coaching, and Lorraine's her own individual style of coaching. Together we bring in a blend, and we've created a Two Chicks in a Pod.
Yeah, so Two Chicks in a Pod, when we did our Ignite the Fire, I talked a little bit. I was an EMT here in Vegas for about 10 years, and so I took some fire science courses, and one of the things we talked about was what creates a fire to ignite. And the 3 components was heat, fuel, and oxygen. And if you remove any one of those components, you extinguish a fire. So the human spirit is very similar. We all have these fires inside of us at one point in our life, and we wonder what happened where we lost the fire, where the fire was extinguished. So we will talk about a lot about what it is that ignites fire. What's our heat? What's our fuel? What's our the elements, the oxygen that we need to create this fire? And so for us, it's mind, body, and spirit. Whether, and I don't mean religiously or anything like that, but just who are you outside of yourself? And so where is it that it's missing that your fire is gone? And we'll talk about a lot of ways and a lot of tools to ignite your fire. And that's what a lot of what Two Chicks in a Pod are going to be on. We're very excited about that.
And also self-awareness, being coachable, giving yourself grace, having a receptive mindset to truth. Because I mean, I'm not an easy person to convince. I believe the best in people, but I also do my research, and I also make sure that what I'm believing is the truth that I should believe, because I believe we're free to believe what we choose to, and we have to listen to what that truth is for us. And I believe everything in life is perspective, right? I mean, that's, if you look at things, it's a matter of how do you see what it is that you're facing, looking, whatever that is. And that's a big part of what we bring too. We share our experiences that may or may not relate with all, but there's nuggets that you can pick up on that way to help you in business, you know, whatever it is that you do for a living, and your family, career, however that wants to apply.
Yeah, we're excited. It's a lot of information and content, but I think it's useful. It adds value to your lives, no matter where you're at in your life. We have a lot to talk about. We've been through a lot. I have lived quite the life and have had quite the craziness to go along with that, and I've had a lot of trials and tribulations, and I've learned a lot as well. And I didn't get here without the struggle, without the work, and every adversity has been an opportunity for me, and that's something that I would love to share with you all through our podcast, just so you know that where you're at right now, you don't have to look at it as a permanent thing. I always say never make a final decision over a temporary problem.
Absolutely. And also to be grateful for where you're at right now and what you have. And that doesn't mean to settle. It just means to have gratitude, because that is true fulfillment.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in. 2 Chicks in a Pod.